Hello and welcome to episode number 6 of the Tide55 show. This is going to be, well, I don't know if this is going to be normal kind of episode. There's a few twists and turns along the way. But thanks for being here. I'm joined today once again with Kendall, Matt and Darren. And we're going to be talking about all kinds of things digital marketing related. You're going to want to tune into this one, especially if you're on social media, but you're not really a massive fan. We're going to get into that. We're going to talk about it, plus YouTube and a few other things. So thanks for watching. Do subscribe to the channel and let's get into it. I'm going to disappear now.
I'm going to go through the topics a bit differently, obviously, because now there's only like the two of you. Might not go as well. But two of the topics we're going to talk about today are the same platform, so we can kind of bulk them into and do one big topic. So that is Facebook. And they've got quite a few things that they've been announcing over the last week. And one of those is, do you guys know about Facebook Rooms? I think we might have talked about it before.
I think so, yeah.
So Facebook Rooms is like the kind of being compared to Clubhouse in the terms of you can go in and you can have like a open conversation, but it's video. Now they are adding features to be audio only. So they are now obviously directly trying to compete with Clubhouse, and Clubhouse is still invite only, so obviously have probably quite a good chance. And then I was looking into it about Facebook groups, because obviously Facebook groups are quite a big thing. I don't know if either of you are part of any, but they're like, I think it's 1.8 billion users engage in groups every single month. So they're saying that you can go into a group and you could start up your own room, and then like, say I'm part of a marketing group on Facebook, and then it would tell me that like the owners of the group are in a room, so I could then go in and join and listen to stuff that I'm interested about, which I do think is quite cool, because it's kind of where you are already. You already know the people and you're already interacting with them, and then you just go in and you can hear them chat about it. But I'm interested to know what you both think. So Darren, tell me first what you think about Facebook doing it compared to Clubhouse doing it. What are your kind of initial thoughts?
You'll laugh because I haven't got Facebook. I've never had Facebook.
No?
Ever. No.
Why is that?
No. I'm one of those people that's quite work and home's home. So if I want to share my life with people, then I'll share it with the people that I see at the weekends or whatever anyway, and I don't have to put it on the internet to show everyone what I'm doing. And I don't want people to see what I'm doing at work.
No, that's fair enough. Yeah, Matt, I'm guessing you use Facebook.
I actually don't.
Do you have Facebook?
I've got it downloaded.
Yeah.
Because in the past I've used it for quite a lot of like social media stuff. Like say if it's been doing a promotional video for someone and then doing some Facebook sort of like general management. I've got it for that, and I'm assigned as an admin to a few pages, but I've not, like, I don't use it on a personal level. It's only
I think you don't even like go on and scroll.
But I don't even go on there and scroll.
Wow. Okay.
I haven't done since 2015, 2016.
That makes my question hard. My thoughts are that, and I'm going to interlink this with the second topic, which is that they are also adding in a newsletter feature, which I don't fully understand and don't think all of the details have been announced, but they're trying to make it a bit of a better platform for like independent writers. So you would have the ability to like create newsletters and have them on Facebook and post them on your pages or in your groups for like nurturing your community or whatever. And then it doesn't really matter that you don't use it, because my then thought is, do you think they sound like they're trying to do a bit too much? They're just trying to do everything.
It sounds like if you're going to be doing a newsletter in a way that you're going to be posting it on Facebook, it just sounds like an extension to a Facebook status. You know, or almost having, sometimes you'll see, say, posts across social media, let's say on Facebook, where, click here to check out our latest newsletter or something like that, and it'll take them away from Facebook. So maybe it's almost having that inside of Facebook, so Facebook keeps the user, and well, we all know what can happen from that.
Yeah, I think they're trying to create it as a platform that, like, everything you could possibly need. I don't know if anyone saw, but you know the census was due last weekend or whatever. Did anyone see? Oh, probably not, because you don't even go on Facebook. But when you go onto Facebook, right, last weekend, a notification banner comes up at the top that says, "Have you filled out your census form yet?" I thought to myself, oh my God, like, you literally don't even need to go anywhere else. Facebook is trying to have everything in one place.
Yeah.
Which is kind of interesting, but I feel like I'm not sure. I don't know, is that sustainable? Like,
I think
It's another advertising stream for them, though. Surely there'll be a way of advertising, promoting it, and making more money from it somewhere along the line.
Yeah, probably. But so, are you part of other social media platforms, Darren? LinkedIn, you are.
LinkedIn, there you go. That's the only one.
Okay, so tell me why something like LinkedIn, is that more just for business, I guess, business purposes?
Yeah, the only reason I ever got onto LinkedIn was because, in fact, when I got made redundant, I literally formed that page and created it, and that was it. And that was the only reason.
What about you, Matt? You're on Instagram, but you don't really use Instagram, right?
I haven't done.
Yeah.
But I do a little bit now, I think.
So what would you say is the main social media platform that you use, if any?
I don't really know. I know it sounds mad, but the only
You're now
reason
thinking, am I in a digital marketing company?
I started posting a little bit right now. I say that I've posted twice in the last month, sort of like since December. But it's sort of like, I've always said, if social media wasn't, this sounds really bad, if social media wasn't my job, I probably wouldn't use it or have it on my phone. The most social media I used in one day was, I was on Twitter for 22 minutes across the whole day.
Wow, right. Well, then in that case, I will tell you my view, seeing as I use Facebook. I like to flick through and I like to read stuff on there. And I am part of a lot of groups, all kinds of things, marketing related, like things I just like doing in my own time, bloody roller skating groups, like just things that I'm interested in, because then it keeps you in the loop.
Is it all right if I join you?
It would be nice, yeah.
What's been the chat then?
So, right, we've been talking a lot about Facebook because they are changing their rooms feature to have audio only options, obviously to compete with Clubhouse. And we've been talking about they're doing a new newsletter feature. So for like independent writers and stuff, they're going to have the whole function within Facebook to be able to post things to your pages or to groups. But we've actually learned that Darren and Matt don't use Facebook. So it's been a bit of a tricky one.
So the conversation's been healthy then?
Yes, that's exactly the right thing to say. Basically, what would be really useful for you, okay, is I would like to know, I was saying that I think that Facebook are trying to do everything, and whether that's sustainable or not, whether that's a good thing.
Absolutely. Rightly so, because they are they're like Waterloo Station to the train network. Like you have to be, or Clapham Junction technically is the biggest. They have to be able to do that because they are the gateway to many other forms of social media. They lead the way. You use Facebook for a lot of things to log in, as remember as well. So they have to keep that position within people's minds and within people's habits and behaviors. So if they can adapt something. So at the moment, for example, if somebody says, have you heard of that new app that's just audio, which we know, Clubhouse is the narrative. If they get this built in quick enough, then, my mum, your mum, aunties and uncles that are already cemented into Facebook as a habit, they'll just start using that and go, oh, do you mean on Facebook? And then the attention doesn't go anywhere.
That is a big thing that it was talking about, because it was saying how obviously Facebook has so many users on there already, and it talks a lot about Facebook groups and how like rooms and the newsletters will be good features for that, because if you're part of a group and you engage, because there's so many people that engage with groups every month already, and then if you see that there's people in this group that you normally engage with and are interested in already, are all in a room, it probably has the potential to be a bit of a, you'd probably be more likely to join it than you would to just randomly go on Clubhouse and find out that. Yeah,
it's good for us because the attention needs to stay within Facebook and Instagram, because that's where we do a lot of our work, advertising wise. So the power is with them, and they need to innovate to keep it, especially when they're under threat. I think it'll be all right though. I don't think Clubhouse can come close to touching the biggest threat. The biggest sort of threat I guess Clubhouse brings, I think, is more the podcast platforms, like the independent podcast streaming platforms. Because I don't think it can come close.
Out of interest, what would you say is the main reason you use Facebook other than work?
If I didn't have it, I wouldn't use it. That's the answer. If I didn't have wasn't doing what I was doing, I would definitely not be using Facebook. And that isn't anything against Facebook. I would have a Facebook. Well, to be fair, if anyone's got a keen eye for an investigation, check out my personal Facebook page. One, you won't be able to have me as a friend because I just won't accept, because I don't check it. And two, you'll see that the last post I made was probably about the Game of Thrones finale. Not even the last episode, probably the season before the last episode. So, I don't really use it, and that's just the truth, because it's social media that I have beef with, not Facebook. So that's the honest answer. I just wouldn't.
Here, Tommy. There's three of us like that now.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Well,
I mean, it's a bit controversial, isn't it? Because of what we do, but I'm just saying that it's not something that anyone needs to watch. Let's just be clear. Our audience watching this need to understand, first and foremost, primarily, stop mucking about. Facebook and Instagram are the biggest opportunities for you to advertise on right now in 2021. That and Google ads are how you're going to get found. That is how people are going to get to know who you are. That's how you're going to make money. That's just the way it is, right? That's where the attention is. But from a personal level, I don't think it's healthy. So personally, if you're watching this and you're not thinking, oh, I like what these guys are saying, I might apply it to my business, but you're sitting there thinking, oh, I might do a little bit of, I might try a bit of Clubhouse later, or I might go and consume that data, then do so with a warning label, because it is terrible, right? But from a business point of view, which is what we're doing here, how we're talking, it's great. It's great. It's phenomenal. It is. But in the same way, I shouldn't be looked upon like, bad here, because it's also great to advertise in a newspaper, but you don't need to be reading them. This is a business tool we're talking about. So I wouldn't take it personally if someone said to me, oh, I freaking hate the radio, but your advert was on the radio. That's just business.
But you've got to have people that like using it personally for it to be worthwhile for a business.
No, see, that's the thing. I don't think anyone does. I think it's just habit, and it's access, and it's keeping in touch with what's going on in the world. And boom, there pops the ad. Boom, there pops sponsored content. Yeah. It's the leverage of attention, rather than, because I get what you're saying, Kendall. It's like, well, you need one to feed the other. But I don't think it's like that. People aren't lemmings. People aren't just like, and I think a lot of the tactics that go on treat people like lemmings.
Yeah.
They talk about them, and they talk about get them to do this and get them to do that. They're just people like you and I that probably think the same. Oh, Facebook, oh, this or that. But they're on it because of access and news and connectivity, which is great, So that's why it's precious time. If somebody goes on Facebook, it's precious real estate. To get that ad there, that's a privilege. And for us to be able to help a client do that, the ad needs to be good. The ad needs to make sense, and it needs to bring people closer to a sale. And if that sale can help them, even better. If they're thinking, do you know what, I really need to know who's going to lay my floor in my bathroom because I need a new floor, and then one of Floor 24's ads pop up, which we've ran for them, then we've helped that person. So yeah, I just want to make that clear, because I don't want anyone thinking I'm some sort of like anti-social media, anti-Facebook digital marketing agency owner. It's just knowing the wood from the trees.
Yeah, that's fine. That makes sense.
I think you're right, Tommy. It's quite funny. Actually, before you come in, we said I don't use it, Matt doesn't use it, but you're right. It's just all about having presence there, because the thing that's important is the content and the messaging and social media. Because I've been through all those things, like you mentioned, advertising, press advertising. This just happens to be the channel that people are using at the moment, and it could be that you put it on a paper aeroplane. If it's the right message and you throw it across the office, or throw it into someone's office and it delivers the right message, promotes, makes people make a sale, it doesn't matter what it is. And this is what's already more important. It is the content, the messaging, and as you said, grabbing the attention. That's the important thing. This just happens to be today's channel to communicate.
We've got to make that message clear for our viewers, that this isn't a game. This isn't a playground conversation. This is worth a lot of money. If your business is not present on these platforms, then all the people that are there are not seeing you. None of them. None of the millions of people. Like it or not, that's the fact. So the sooner, like we took on new clients this week that have basically come and said that we understand the opportunity, but we don't understand how. And just that's the brilliant attitude to have. You know, don't fight it. Don't be the company that was so stubborn to invest more money in horse stables and saddles and nice carts that can attach to some horses the day after the car was invented. I'm sorry, it's evolution. People like that. And so we have to be able to be agile with those, and business owners need to be able to be agile as well and not to be intimidated by it. It's not something that only young people know about. It's just like Darren said, it's the method right now.
Yeah, totally.
Obviously, Abacus at the moment certainly aren't doing it. Their last Twitter posting was 14th of February 2019. So,
oh, we're calling them out. We're calling them out on our channel. We want to work with those guys. Should we leave that in?
Yeah. So I'm putting something together at the moment.
Yeah, that's good. And it's important to deliver that message in a really empathetic and integral, intelligent way, which we will, because we don't want to be like waving our finger at people and saying, oh, you're rubbish because you're not doing that. It's just like, we know you're missing out. Someone else is benefiting from all that traffic. Someone has to. And it's kind of, at the moment, it's a bit of a gold rush. It's like first to the post. Then it becomes, once that saturation happens, then it becomes about the best. So if you're the best now, or you feel like you have a good reputation now, right? Getting on there, you'll be fine, because even if you're not first, you'll be the best, and soon people realize that. But there is an opportunity for those sort of those waiting in second and third place in the race to just go and pip first. If the bigger companies right now are getting sleepy and lazy, and they're getting fat and lazy, and they're just sitting on what they think is their monopoly board, they're going to have a shock if they're not going to adapt to this, because the second and third place are going to look at them and go, hey, see ya. Just the way it is.
Okay, right. So our last topic is actually one that we spoke about. I think I spoke to you about it, Matt, for sure, but I don't know if we were all talking about it. But it is YouTube Shorts, which is basically like TikTok-esque style YouTube. So they're testing it at the moment in America, and you would open up your app and you would have it like you would on like any of the other platforms where you can just scroll and see the short version or whatever it is, which I think is quite interesting, because obviously that's not what YouTube's really been about for the whole time it has been around, but obviously it's adapting with everything else. So Matt, as we talked about it first, let's come to you. What do you think? Do you think that will take off?
I don't know, because YouTube is known for videos perform well if there's good watch time on them. Videos perform well if they're longer and people stay engaged, and it's interactive content. So I don't really understand how short video content is going to perform well on YouTube. Also, you could look at it from a business sense. How is a 10, 20, 30-second video going to make you any form of decent ad revenue? It's just a straight fact. It's, there's always been the joke when, before it got taken down to 8 minutes plus, it was always, you could add mid-rolls on videos that were over 10 minutes. So I don't understand, before that, if your video is less than 8 minutes, there's only going to be one advert on there, which means your revenue is not going to be amazing. So I don't understand how, from like an advertisement point of view, I don't understand how that would work in terms of a consumer way and in terms of the content itself. I don't know. If you want short videos that are to the point and, entertainment, then everyone's on TikTok for that. Even all the big YouTubers, they're on TikTok for that.
Not everybody. Not everybody.
You've changed. Where you've moved.
Most big YouTubers, I would say, have gone over to TikTok. Most.
Yes. But that's actually.
But you're looking at it through the world, the reality that you look through, which is no fault of your own. But every person, like, there's all that how many times you said to me, do you know that bloke? And I'm like, nope. All the YouTubers you're talking about, I don't know who they are. Whereas I've got people I would watch there, and they might not be there. So I think you've got to be careful when you say like everybody is on there. They're not.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know though. I don't think YouTube is a platform that's going to be for like short video content.
Well, it's interesting that you
know,
say
I
that
can't.
because part of the announcement that they made was saying how, in the opposite, loads of people will go from TikTok to YouTube because they can make more money on YouTube. So they're basically saying that they said YouTube has helped an entire generation of creators turn their creativity into businesses and become the next generation media companies. Over the last 3 years, we've paid more than 30 billion to creators, artists, and media companies. So they're targeting it as people from TikTok are coming to them already. So let's just give them what they know and what they want, but they can make more money with us. That's what it sounds like to me.
Yeah.
How, I don't know.
Well, I'm assuming they're still going to need to be giving some long form content as well, because if that's the case, I think that makes absolute sense. You take a traditional framework, like we've spoken about before, nothing's new, right? History repeats itself. This is the equivalent of, let's take movie, right? If you want somebody to watch a movie, you want them to watch the premiere, the box office, you want the box office tickets, what do? Well, you hand out leaflets, you put posters up, you put little commercials on the TV. This is all this is. This becomes the commercial. It becomes the little bit of interest in the short form video that makes somebody want to subscribe and go watch the big thing, or at least become someone who subscribes to the channel. So I'm sure this is how it's going to work out. If people are then able to use small, entertaining videos for people to get to know them, because they're not going to go and watch 15 minutes necessarily, then they might go, oh, and then subscribe to that person. If this short video thing can generate subscribers, it's going to be massive, because then when someone's a subscriber and they do go and use YouTube, which everybody does, but when do they go and use YouTube? They go and use YouTube when they know that they want to dive into something. I use YouTube on my TV at home. So it might be that they want to go and watch TV, they don't want to watch telly, they want to watch YouTube and go and see what's going on. Well, that's when your video, that subscriber, the person they subscribe to because they saw that little short thing, that's when they get the chance for them to watch the longer video. And that's when they'll get their income, because YouTube pays from the view time and all the algorithms around how we get paid. But it also means that you get your point. You get your point across in the longer video, because you're not going to do that. It's just not the same. It's apples and oranges. What, you're going to teach someone how to, I don't know, how to paint a pillar black? You're going to teach someone in 8 seconds, or are you going to teach someone in 10, 15 minutes? It's going to be 10, 15 minutes. But if you can capture their attention with the short thing, so they get to know you as a person and they get intrigued, then they're more likely to consume your content. So absolutely see how that works. People's mindsets have changed. Their browsing behavior has changed. They want short and snappy. So YouTube are adapting to that. Otherwise, they're going to miss out. If I had a bag of microphones, I think I probably would have dropped at least 2 by now. But I guess that's just the vibe I'm on today, because I've been putting shit into people's cars.
Oh, gosh.
This is not a green screen.
It does really look like one, but yeah.
We should take a picture of that and use it as a green screen later so we can reminisce.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, sounds good. Okay, well, does anyone have any final things? Because I don't think we've really got time for my game, but so I can take.
I have a final thing.
Yes, go.
A practical piece of advice: if you're going to drive across the country to pick up some gym equipment, bring a van. Bring a van, not a little car. That's my advice for anyone that's watching. Preparation is key. Hey? Yeah.
So we've sent them.
Yeah.
What are they trying to fit in their car?
Everything. Just too much stuff. So he's left without some of the stuff that he wanted. But yeah, that's his fault, isn't it?
Yeah.
He's going to come back and collect it.
I don't know. It's from Barnsley, so it's quite a long way to go. But
why wouldn't you get a van?
In all seriousness, like, this is obviously, hopefully, the last day of what has been very disruptive this week. You guys are all working from home today, which is not unusual, particularly for a Friday, but it's all over the place. We've got stuff it's just, we haven't really got anywhere at home, but it's been well documented, so I don't want to ring the bell too much. But next week we should be settling in, hopefully, to our new office. How exciting is that? Hello and welcome to episode number 6 of the Tide55 show. This is going to be, well, I don't know if this is going to be normal kind of episode. There's a few twists and turns along the way. But thanks for being here. I'm joined today once again with Kendall, Matt, and Darren. And we're going to be talking about all kinds of things digital marketing related. You're going to want to tune into this one, especially if you're on social media, but you're not really a massive fan. We're going to get into that. We're going to talk about it, plus YouTube and a few other things. So thanks for watching. Do subscribe to the channel and let's get into it. I'm going to disappear now. So thanks for watching. We hope that you've enjoyed this episode. Next week, we're going to be coming right back with episode number 7. If you have any questions for us and you want to get our opinion on anything, then do send it in the comments. We'll be happy to answer those questions. Subscribe to the channel and we'll see you again next time.